lengthy discussions many times. What more did you need on this?
Well, like I put on there, there's been a lot of discussion. Community members, everywhere I go, I get people said, what's happening with that? So we requested it be on the agenda. We have not had it on the agenda to be able to have a discussion for the board.
Well, the high school plans were on the agenda. That's the discussion.
I don't think we've approved the plans.
Mr. Brooks,
Yeah.
I do not remember, nor do I think we have ever approved a plan. Well, I almost know for a fact we've approved a budget.
That's the plan.
We have not approved
You
plans.
approved the GMP for 104.
Also, Mr. Brooks, this is what I got for these drawings on a PDF, and I have to pull them up 10 times that I asked for. This is the best I got to try to figure out where things are at. I think we ought to have good visuals where we can actually see what's going on, and I would appreciate that we all know what's going on, and to make a high-quality diagram of what we can see and where they're at, and especially the bathrooms. Because the best I can come from cutting and pasting is not a normal bathroom on an academic floor. And the normal boys-girls bathrooms are in public areas, in the auditorium and in the gymnasium. And if this is such a great idea, then why isn't the public that comes to our ball games and to our performances have the same bathrooms in the whole building? And until we can see, everybody can see it and everybody knows, and nobody knows what's going on because we got little squinty things if you got them. I think we need to see and know what's in that building, and I don't think we do.
Yeah, and I would agree with, and I'm new to the board as far as this goes. I did watch the meetings in regards to it, and due to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, I do think we need to show the public, we can just view the bathroom section of how it's going to be laid out. Is there absolutely no talk of still separating girls and boys? You know, I still think that's a lot of concern. Even if they're individual bathrooms, why can't we still mark them? One of my concerns is there'll have to be a sanitary napkin station in those, so you're going to have it in all if we're going to share. That's also an additional expense to the district. Those types of things, I think if we just open it out, I think that's all we have to talk about is the bathroom. I don't think we need to go into detail. I don't want everybody to know where every nook and cranny in the high school is for protection of our kids, and having that public out there, that terrifies me to death with active shooters and whatnot. But I think if we just expose the bathroom and just give people peace of mind, even depending on what our decision is, I think just exposing it out there of this is the way it's going to be, and maybe invite our contractor again, of saying this is exactly what it looks like. He can even draw us a picture maybe, so we have a visual of it. That would be my suggestion. But you do continuously get, and I'm new to the board, and I continuously get questions about the bathroom. Nothing else as far as the school goes. It's mainly the bathroom.
But I would appreciate that every school board member has a solid copy of those bathrooms, where they're located and their designs, so that we can answer questions to the public so that we're all in the know.
So I do have a couple of questions. These gender neutral bathrooms are 33% of the bathrooms, correct?
Not according to my drawings. Are you counting numbers or locations?
Bathrooms. I don't know. I was told that they are 33% of the school building bathrooms.
But I will tell you,
It's
but they're all in about
he
two.
actually
They're
said
about
the opposite of 51. It's
Jamie.
less than half.
Total
49.
bathroom count, if you want to go by toilets, 54% are non-shared and 46% are shared.
Okay, so
What do you mean by shared and non-shared? Because that's new vocabulary again.
Shared.
Shared meaning gang bathrooms?
No.
no, like the private gender neutral bathrooms would be shared. Non-shared would
Shared
be-
with a shared sink.
But the problem,
Okay.
is where they're located.
Where are
and
they
the number.
located?
That's why I would like the drawings. Because I cannot find them in the academic halls.
Sean, you know respond. You know where they're at.
Where the private bathrooms are,
So they're,
the private bathrooms are in the academic areas, yes, that's correct. There's like 4 outside of social studies and English, 4 in math and science, 4 in like individuals, yeah.
I would appreciate the drawings to show me.
I agree.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the same thing that you have.
There's better drawings out there.
Please blow them up and make them big, so I can see them.
Print them all big.
Why are these such an issue? Like genuine concern. I respect all of you wholeheartedly. I do. Why is it this that we're focusing on? Why is I have other things about the bond that I'm not thrilled about. The private bathrooms to me are accessible for students with mobility issues. They're a nice venue for like if a teacher has a student that's been spending way too much time in that bathroom. Speaking from experience, I can't go into the guy's bathroom and get him out. I have to disrupt another class or an administrator to get a mail to go empty the bathroom and find the guy. Like, I don't, in my heart of hearts, I do not believe nefarious things are going to happen in these bathrooms. They are going to be like a foot by like 2 feet. There's no way. If nefarious things are going to happen, they're going to happen anywhere else. And probably, I mean, high schoolers, right? Like, I don't think these bathrooms are going to change who your children are. That's your job as parents, to teach your children how to be. And if these bathrooms go against your morals, and if these bathrooms are a concern for your children, then you talk to your children about it. Because the other children that need them, and the teachers that, God forbid, have to take a poop in peace, I don't understand why these bathrooms are such an uproar. I would love to talk about other things that, listen, I'm not going to bring them up now because I'm already fired up about this, but the bathrooms are just bathrooms.
I agree, Jamie, and I agree. You know, I too, I am in favor of the individual bathrooms. I am. But I think the public needs to know, we just need to put it out there. This is how it is. It's got 4 walls, right? It has a door. And you're going to share a sink. There'll be video cameras outside of it, not inside of the bathroom, is the way I understand it, correct?
And large openings, right?
outside.
So large
People see
openings
them
to the
going
shared
in and out.
area.
Correct.
So
We
there's
do have
no
pictures of the
hiding.
bathrooms
Yes,
on the
and I've
website.
looked at it on the website, and that's, the way I understand it is the way I'm visualizing it, that it is individual. So I guess my next concern would be, like I said, marking, would it be wrong to mark 4 of them girls and 4 of them boys, or 2 and 2, or whatever? Because of the feminine issues that girls go through as well is a concern. But at least it's then separated. But again, I like the idea of the private because you talk to the school nurse and she's ecstatic about it because she's not booked all the time during the day either of somebody just wanting privacy. And if it's an issue of our children's safety and concern in those bathrooms, or those bathrooms being exposed, maybe we need to look at more another police officer. You know, you're talking tax dollars there, but if that's a concern, maybe that's where we go. We hire hall monitors. We do those types of things if that's your concern. I agree with you, Jamie. It starts at home. It's how you raise your children, and it's not the district's responsibility to teach you your kids right and wrong. It starts with the
And
parents.
if your child feels uncomfortable, genuinely, I do not know a single teacher who will say, you know what, the gender neutral bathrooms are right next door, you cannot go all the way across. No, teachers will be understanding. Mrs. Getz, I need to use the restroom and I like to go to this bathroom. Man, we already do that because, you know, the freshman bathroom doesn't even work. So yeah, you do have to go across the building. Not a single teacher will throw a stink about that because it is about every student every day. Even the ones who don't want to use those bathrooms, even the ones who do want to use those bathrooms. It's just an option. It's an option, and I think it's a great option.
It just seems kind of disingenuous that we're talking about parents needing to raise their kids, but yet we just approved to hiring 2 new people to monitor kids in school.
That's
I mean,
not what their job is.
Well, it
That's a
said,
job
it
description.
said for behavior issues was the main reason why we were getting the 2 new semi-administrative, staff. I mean, that was during the work session. So I think it's kind of disingenuous to say we need more people to monitor the schools instead of just sending the kids home and have their parents take care of them, which is what we're saying for, this issue.
I get that. The difference in that, to me, is middle school versus, or high school versus elementary school. Because these behaviors at the elementary school are at a whole different level. They're trying to stop these behaviors before they become a bigger issue. And these extra people are support staff. And I believe at the work session, we also talked about they're not just for disciplinarian, they're also to help in the classroom when the teacher needs them. So I think that's really just an extra label, but you're right. Like, it is a problem, but my opinion is it's a home problem. And I hope the community hears that.
Yeah, and I wanted to just clarify the total bathroom count. But I would say shared area is only 30% of the entire building. When I gave you 54, 46, I was talking the learning areas. The auditorium and the locker rooms are all 100% non-shared.
And
So-
Ron, I'm to understand, they are so tiny, one person can only fit in there.
And
Correct.
to your
What's
comment,
the
Ruth,
accessible
about
one?
labeling them boys, girls, or
Uh-huh.
men, women, I don't necessarily think that's an issue, but that's what will make everyone feel better. It does become a little bit of an issue trying to monitor to make sure that everyone's using the right bathroom. But, I mean, if that's something that is going to make everyone, I mean, honestly, I would be honest, I kind of agree with Jamie in terms of it. I feel it's kind of sad that we're still focusing on this when we're going to have this fabulous building that's going to be a great learning space for kids. And that's, sometimes I feel that people haven't really just, embraced how great this is.
I think part of the issue is we try to talk about it for a while, at least, coming to meetings, and it was never, I'm sure it's talked about at some point, but once it became an issue in the public, we never actually addressed it after it became a concern to the public. It might have been discussed early on, like before community
Nope.
members got a hold of it.
We did a drive, I've addressed it several times. This is
Yeah, and-
well, not the first nor the second, probably third, fourth time that we've had pretty extensive conversations about this.
Yeah. And it has been since it became an election cycle hot topic last year. We've discussed
I
it.
think what we have, it's more for the benefit of the student. Understanding privacy is something everyone desires when they go to the bathroom. So it was giving that availability to students.
I still
So
think-
that's what we're trying to do.
I still think it makes sense to make one bank of them all male and one bank of them all females, and you're just watching if guys are going into the bank of the female.
Well,
But then the
yeah,
guys have to go all the way to the
yeah,
other way.
that becomes the location and why is.
I got that, but that could have been discussed a long time ago.
Well, I don't think
And
the
it was.
issue is not necessarily that they're sharing a sink, correct?
Well, no, but it'd be a lot easier to, if you have one bank with a sink in the middle with cameras to watch and see if only guys are going in and out of there versus, guys and girls and which stall, like that.
Well, I think that's
We
what
can
it is.
see them go into the door.
Well, you can see
From the
inside
like,
the
we can
sink.
see-
Yeah, no, I thought, like, the cameras are in there for the bank, and they see, to make sure that not more than one student is going.
Ever.
So I guess
Does that make sense?
I watched the video, the walkthrough of when the contractors came in, and I saw the video and kind of looked at stuff, but I guess maybe I don't have a clear understanding of what this is either. So I mean that's kind of disappointing because I tried to look at it, really have.
I was under the impression it was like Kansas City Airport. Do you know the new Kansas City Airport
Yeah.
where you walk in and I've had friends go in there and she went in one and her husband went in the other, the traditional doors, and they didn't even know they were in the same bathroom until they were washing their hands.
Yeah, this is way more open than that, because the teachers on the other side of the hallway would be able to see all the way,
Saying here,
like,
but this is the main.
more than half.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the opening is probably similar to these two
There's
doors.
So you can watch
There's
it.
a 10-foot opening on either side of it.
Yeah.
And then on the
It's actually very similar to Kansas City.
Okay.
Mr. Brooks, I think as the discussion happens, I don't think we all know what the door widths are because we're still discussing and discovering. I would prefer a good presentation with good drawings at the next board meeting.
I think one of the questions too was that it was less expensive, and I'd like to have the details on that, why it's cheaper than going the more traditional. The other thing is, it is out of the norm. I've checked, there's Shawnee Mission, I think, is the only other school in Kansas that has this type of a setup. It's away from the norm.
I think it's way from the norm, Alan, because very few communities get the opportunity to build a new high school.
Garden City just built one.
Junction
Dodge
City just built one.
Junction City just built
a
one.
new high school. Dodge City added on to their high school.
They have a new high school.
No, it's new.
Dodge City High School is new.
High school is 15 years old.
Yeah, it's different.
That's
Oh,
pretty new.
15, but yeah.
Yeah, and Gardens.
Time goes fast, but it was
Junction
all
City,
new.
but
Gardens is,
That's pretty
no,
recent.
I thought Gardens was like also 15.
It's over 10.
Yeah. Junction is new, and they have, it's a beautiful building, and they have traditional bathrooms, and then they have the family bathrooms just right next to it. And to me, that gives them both options, and I like that idea.
So why don't we just call these gender-neutral bathrooms family bathrooms?
Whatever you want to toss it out there.
I get it, I do.
I have-
I think it's
Can I
best
finish?
for our kids.
Well, I have daughters, and I know that they like to come out of the bathroom and fix their hair and do that, and they like to do the private. They want to do it next to
But
it.
we have those opportunities. We have 70% of our bathrooms
Show me.
are, if they want a private,
Not in the academic. In that whole second floor, it's all gender
well, that's
neutral,
what,
from what I've seen.
I thought that's where you wanted it.
I don't think we want them at all.
I would rather them be in the academic hall than in like,
You don't want bathrooms?
No, I don't think, I think we're making a problem out of something that didn't have, like, people
Well,
have had bathrooms
exactly, yes. I
for,
think-
no, people have had bathrooms forever growing up, and we're fine.
But 98% of Kansas doesn't have this type
Yeah.
of setup.
So what I would like to ask is, a lot of the times we talk about the feelings of the community. I would encourage everyone, especially if we come back and address this and give a tour, I ask you to ask a teenager if they feel comfortable going in a large bathroom. And I would also ask everybody else that question. And that's the why. That was the original why, was to give those private spaces for kids. So if we're going to come back to this conversation, which it sounds like we are, ask a teenager. A teenager who goes to the bathroom with people that have phones. Please have that conversation. I think that's a thing that we should come back and talk about. I think that's important. We continue to talk about our young people, everybody that's part of this conversation. I would encourage you to go talk to them. I would. And when we come back, I think that would be important. That was the original why. And if it's not been transparent enough, then I think that we also have an opportunity to bring back, if we need to talk about it and show those, I think that would be great. Because I think that when people are unclear, it's unclear. So maybe that's something that we could do.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Did you have a survey?
It's not just survey for me, sir. It's talking to kids.
No, I'm sorry, but didn't you have a survey? Didn't you do one online at the high school, and then it was taken down?
I think
Somebody,
I mean, there was like a newspaper article, our own kids were doing that.
And they had it, and it was like 70% were not in favor of it, and then it was taken down? Does that not happen? Did that happen? Because I have a picture of,
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
it was,
I'm not sure.
you don't know about that?
Was it like a thing on?
It was a survey that was done on your website, like you have those little surveys.
Yeah.
You don't
like
remember
on the
that?
Hayes High website?
Hayside website.
Those are, those you have to be careful about because students can reset their cache and they can vote 1,000,000 times.
Still, but we need to have that should be a data point.
Can you do me a favor? Can you, on the bond report, there's that generalized picture of the high school with like A, B, C, D, E, F. Can you pull that up on the big screen? I can't find it.
It was in consent agenda. No, actually, it was under the superintendent.
Yeah, can't find the superintendent report. There it is.
Yeah, that's where it is. It's under superintendent report.
And while you're pulling that up, I just have to commend Mr. Henderson and his staff. See it every day of kids that want privacy as far as that goes. I mean, and you're going to have issues with smoking in the boys' room isn't a song from
Right.
today.
That's not a thing that happened in these classes.
Yeah, it's happened in the 50s, it happened in the 60s, it happened in the 40s. You're going to have, I've heard people say they're worried about rapes, they're worried about, you can get raped outside in the parking lot. I mean, if our concern is strictly those bathrooms and whatnot, then
Yeah.
maybe the answer isn't always just in the bathroom discussion, maybe it's in security. Like Kurt said, Dodge City has 3 security officers just in that one high school, so maybe that's why, or Dodge City, maybe that's why it's not an issue. So maybe that's the level we need to look at, is security. There again, you're talking money, because those people ain't gonna work for free. So,
And you're saying your kids are.
and you're saying, you want to protect your kids, and we want to protect our
From each other.
grandkids, but,
And I agree, I do want to protect our kids, and I do want to protect our grandkids. I don't have grandkids. I do want to protect our kids. I don't think the nefarious things are happening in the bathrooms.
Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. Nefarious things happen in gang bathrooms all the time.
What are gang bathrooms?
Gang bathrooms are the kind that people like the ones with where you go in and it's only girls or only boys.
And it's a stall.
Because there's
Got it.
like closed sight lines.
Got it.
And you can't, and like you said, you can't go in that bathroom
Yes.
yourself. You have to go get a male teacher.
Let me
or
rephrase my
something.
statement. I don't think nefarious things are happening in a 2-foot by 2-foot bathroom stall.
That's correct.
Okay. Can you generalize? Can you show where the bathrooms are and describe
I'm
them?
gonna leave this to Mr. Henderson. He knows this way more in depth than I do.
My dude, come show off your school.
Sean, thanks for being here.
Yeah, and so I would love to do this on a night that's not tonight too. I mean, I knew that there was a conversation tonight. I don't have anything to hide. As a matter of fact, transparency, this subject, I would love for people to be more clear about. So if we need to do that in some way, shape, or form outside of these minutes, I'd love to help. I certainly don't have an agenda. Everything that everybody has said about safety, let's go. Let's have that conversation today, tomorrow, and every day thereafter. Whether it is a large bathroom and with one gender, or it is a private bathroom, safety will always be, every second that we open the doors for the kids, part of what we're talking about. So that's fair, and I would say that the community, we are all in on that conversation about safety. So, but I can do this right now. Go ahead, what you got?
Oh, we just wanted bathrooms. Talk to me about bathrooms. Where are the
green
bathrooms
bathrooms that you
located?
see, Brad, so the part that's the frown and the smile, that's the commons. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
smile frown.
So
got it.
immediately to the left of the frown and the smile, that is also the section that just got poured, 22,000 square feet slab of concrete. Pretty cool. That's section A. Okay. Section A is math and science. The green highlighter right there are private bathrooms. Now, they are adjacent to the servery. The servery is the thing in the foreground. That's where kids eat. That's what that is. It's also why there are so many there, because that is the commons, that's the cafeteria, it's all of those things. If you go up and to the left, we are going towards math and science. It happens to be, by the way, just for a frame of reference, see the break in the two buildings at the top there? That is the big wall that you see if you drive by Hayes High, by the way. It's exciting. That's the firewall that they're building. So that's the section we're talking about. The next set of 4 bathrooms, 4 or 5 private bathrooms, is immediately adjacent to the learning area. That is math and science. Those are science labs that you're looking at. So those bathrooms are right around 7 teachers who are teaching in that exact space. Almost kind of like we have kindergarten restrooms right there that are individual by the students and the teachers that are using that area. That's what the green is. And in our building, very similarly, that other side, if you go to the far right, that same green, that is right outside of A, the high school office. Yes, thank you. Up more with the cursor if someone's trying to help you. Okay.
I would really appreciate
Yes,
the
you're doing
cursor
great
work.
doing that, okay? So on the right, okay, the next time you see green towards the top, that is English and social studies. And that would be the next place you see a wall when you drive by Hayes High, by the way. They're going to put a firewall there too. But that would be the next thing that you see go vertical. The green that you see there, again, is immediately adjacent to a learning area. Specifically, the things below the green that you see, that's band room, that's stagecraft, that's the instrumental music wing, and vocal music, that's to the right. If you go up and to the north,
Too far?
you lost me.
Sorry. It jumps, it's really jumpy.
I don't know who's doing this, but thanks for your help. See, good job.
I should not be the one driving it. Unfortunately, you got me.
So again, those private bathrooms are immediately adjacent to classroom learning areas.
Now pause for a minute.
Yes.
I support that. That's great. Because if Kyle's supposed to be in math class and he is taken forever in the bathroom, it is right there and I can check on him. Thank you. Carry on.
So in a meeting that we had last week with Nat Holtz and company, I said, I want you to research and look into the light that goes on if someone is in one of those private spaces. Because if you've ever went to Kansas City, it's impressive. It's all out in the open. The sinks are right there. It is well lit. I mean, there's no secret that all these human beings are crisscrossing. And if I don't want that bathroom, I won't go there. And I think that's a really important comment for everyone in this subject. You do not have to use a private bathroom. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't go to one. There is access to others. They are large. When we talk about a distance to go, so the neon blue that says auditorium, yes, that's auditorium, but everyone, that is the main entrance of the high school. Okay, and below the word auditorium is a massive parking lot. We have two. One is kind of the side that we already park on with the middle school that we share. So that's where kids come into the building. So it says auditorium, but those are bathrooms that students have access to and are in immediate proximity to the commons. Our school in general is rather like a college setup. You have a huge commons area like a union in the middle, and we have academic wings, and then they are upstairs and downstairs. They're similar in that. Yes, the athletic side over there, the other side to the left, where there's a basketball gym that you can see, are very large bathrooms. Where we get the word gang bathrooms, which that's not the quote that I need out into the world.
Sorry.
That is no, it's fine. That is an architectural term. So we'll just say large gendered bathrooms, okay, that we would normally have in any school anywhere. That is also where people, all of us in this room, will use the restroom at a football game. We will literally come in there, okay? Because in the distance between the green and the blue, that is also our concession stand, kitchen, all of that. So all community members at an event will come into that building, and those are large, and they are upstairs and downstairs. Everything in blue, if Mr. Wilson, who's doing a great job, scrolls down further.
Appreciate the feedback.
Where it says locker rooms, those are 7 locker rooms. They are all in the traditional view of locker rooms. There are male locker rooms, female locker rooms, and the other one that you see on the other side on the right that they're kind of by themselves, that is the larger football locker room, okay, because they have so much equipment. So that's kind of the scope of the bathrooms. When I walked you through the neon green ones, they look the same both on the first floor and the second floor. Then we have the 2 places that most certainly, if you do not want to go to a private bathroom, then don't. Go to the larger bathroom. And if I am uncomfortable in my decision, I might tell my teacher, yes, there's a bathroom closer to me, but I would rather go to the other. That also falls into a conversation what parents want their kids to do. I encourage everyone that's having this conversation, ask a teenager. And I came to board meetings. I even told my own mom, I'm going to talk about bowel movements to the public. Because it was going to be real. And I came here. But ask a teenager. Or be a parent of a teenager whose kid is literally storming into the home after school. Because that's how excited they are to have the ability to use the bathroom by themselves. Make no mistake, no agenda. That privacy and that dignity of that kid is why this ever came to be. No, it is not something that's done in lots of schools, but for one, I'm super excited that we have this opportunity. I've tried to be careful with my own opinions because this is a contested issue. However, my feet every day are where the kids are. So where they are and their feelings about that, and if they are comfortable, and I brought my phone and I looked at the board and I said, everybody, if you have a bowel movement, are you okay with the sights, sounds, smells, and people being able to post this? The world that my kids walk into every day is not the ones that you and I did. You can't even compare them. It's not apples to apples. They're not even close. So, but I also would say this. We are very respectful of this conversation, and I'm glad that we can hope to clear this up. Maybe I've talked more than I should. But these spaces in our school are to give privacy and dignity to kids who want them. Okay, so our kids have the ability to make those choices, and so do their families. I would say, child of mine, I don't want you to go into the private bathrooms. Then they won't. Now, or they might when you're not there. That's fine, that's real. But those decisions are there. Am I going to have new problems because we have new things? Let me tell you, I'm going to have new problems with new things come August 2025 that I haven't even thought of yet. And we will face them every day. And if community members have concern, we would love to have that conversation. We don't want this to be controversial. I mean, both sides of this have lots of good things to say because people care about their kids. But the thing for me to carry away with this is these are choices that you can make. We're not forcing anyone to go any place. But in the current model, in the current restrooms we have, if I don't feel comfortable for lots of reasons, I do not have a choice. And then that means I have anxiety. I literally can hurt my bowel health, which is why someone said our nurse is excited, that someone could literally go and be by themselves and use the restroom. Are people going to take too long in those and I'm going to have to figure out logistically how to do that? Yes. And there are schools and there's pros and cons to this. Of course, name an issue. But I think that there are things that we can work on, and I think we can do it together. This is the upstairs. Is that what you pulled up?
Yes.
So notice the same thing, right? Now keep in mind that the frown face over here, I was really well practiced for this. No, I'm doing this on the fly. Again, our union basically in the middle, that is a walkway, a bridge that you can get from one side to the next, and then we have all those staircases and we have elevators. So there are, again, bathrooms that are large, normal, how we've always had them bathrooms, also on the second floor. And to Mrs. Getz's point, if I don't feel comfortable in a private restroom, I'm only walking by so many classrooms and I'm where I need to go. Options, choice, privacy, dignity, that's what this is about. So,
Mr. Henderson,
yes, sir.
how about the crisis, and each one of those are individual locked? How are you going to search each one of them? You're going to have somebody go in there and, instead of just looking under to see if they're there? I mean,
Oh, for sure.
You don't know
we have
somebody's-
the ability to get in, and obviously if we hear something that is concerning enough to go. People have brought up to me if my child has a health condition that they could lose consciousness, or if those are known issues, again, go back to a family decision, I would not go in a private restroom. Or I would go to a private restroom that is right by the nurses, or I mean, whatever those decisions are. And we could go on and on and on about all the different kind of things that could come up with families if those are their choices. See, over here on the left, that is another really large restroom. That is the area that is immediately outside of our athletic complex, our gyms, and those are large restrooms. So there's 2 stories of really large restrooms there. Of course, because we're not calling them Gym A and Gym B. I don't know what they're called, but not that. But the large gym, okay, has 2,000 seats in it, and the smaller one, so we would need the restrooms. So.
Thank you. That was very well spoken. All of my questions are answered, plus ones I didn't know I had. So,
Mr. Henderson, you're saying that a female or male that are in a private bathroom,
Yes.
and they come out, and you talk about smells and everything, and they will open the door, and there's 3 boys or 3 girls there. How is that private?
Well, actually, so fair question. It's not private at all. And that's the thing I like about it, in that once you come out, you are where things happen. And I made a joke about this, is that it will probably force people to wash their hands. Because when I come out, there's sinks
Statistically
right
speaking,
there.
it
It's the
does.
same in Kansas City. I watched people come out and just leave, and I was like, well, that's a choice. That's fine. But, so yes, that part is public. But again, when I'm talking about when you're actually in the restroom, that would be by yourself.
and you have the privacy and the security of knowing there's not going to be a cell phone sneaking under the stall door while you're in the act of eliminating your bowels. And on top of that, I don't know a single person who hasn't come out of the bathroom and blamed the stink on the person next to them or their dog. And
Or
I think
before
that's
them.
also okay. Or before them.
That's right.
The point is, there's choices. And I think those choices are important. And again, I don't want to force anyone to use a bathroom they're not comfortable with, and I get that. So that conversation does need to happen at home. And again, teachers are going to be so supportive and so understanding. If you don't want to use that bathroom, if you're not cool with that, okay, go to the other bathroom. It's all about communication. And that's a big thing that we're trying to teach high school students is the beauty of communication. Email your teachers when you're going to be gone. Text your parents if you're going to be home late. Let your teacher know that you're going to the far bathroom instead of the close bathroom so they don't send the SRO after you. Like,
And we have a system for that. We're already doing, we have e-hall pass. We track where kids go. If your pass says bathroom 1 and you go to bathroom 9, they're all labeled now. That's a protocol thing. It's a safety thing. It's a discipline thing. That's it. The other thing that I've always wanted to say out loud, so I'm just going to say it now, is just because I'm in a bathroom, a large bathroom, with people that are my gender, does not mean that I'm outside of harm's way.
That's right.
I mean, in dealing with teenagers for a living, like that's a truth. That's a truth about all this too. So, just wanted that said.
And I see that the girl's gonna go to this one and then go out and go to the next one and this one because the bathrooms will be dirty.
They'll be. Here's another thing, and I'm going to be as
They're dirty
respectful as I
girls'
can.
bathrooms.
Girls are.
Yep.
girls are gross.
Girls are
are
messy
just
too.
as gross.
So, like, I think we're unilateral teenagers, not necessarily clean. And yes, there are things to work on. Are we going to have to teach kids about that? Yes. Is it going to create awkward conversations? Good. The more, the better. Like,
I'm
that's
just saying,
real.
even your males, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna go in and say, well, this is a mess, and go to the next one, and the next
Yeah.
one. I understand that.
Sorry, everyone, but that's.
It doesn't matter, male, if it's not a gender thing, it's gonna be messy, because
Well, that's what you have already, though.
That's
a lot of
yeah.
boys and girls.
But the difference is, I will label every bathroom. So Mr. Park, if you go into bathroom number 8 and it is a mess, I will timestamp when you came out of it. And now when I walk in and there's 11 people in there, I will find Alan and say, Alan, I got on camera you in number 8, and when you were in there and you came out, you did a lot of things with toilet paper outside of just putting it in the toilet. That's a real conversation in high school, but I'll know it's you because I watched when you came in and entered. That's different for us. I mean, that would offer us something that we've never done before.
So then that conversation would be, do we have enough maintenance? And we don't need to go there tonight. But those are conversations that we need to have. And it's not always about the building, it's about the staff in the building, I think. Do we
Yeah, I
have
agree
enough?
with you. I think that's a good question that you had with security. I mean, all our security measures, we don't know. It'd be nice to hear that from the architect, what they've done to make sure our kids are secure.
Well, they did answer that when they were here last. They had the cameras, they talked about all of that. But we can, I mean, it could be something that we could ask them to address, but at the same time, I think you've answered every question we could possibly have.
Before we started school this year, we labeled each of the restrooms. We added a new hall pass system. We now have an SRO. I mean, we're always constantly changing that protocol to be as safe as we possibly can. It will never stop.
How are you helping those students right now that have those bathroom issues that don't?
We are absolutely overrunning the bathrooms that are private. And I'll tell you, we do that every day. My teachers have no privacy either. Like, we don't have enough restrooms right now. When DLR came out and said, what do you need in our new school? A lot of our people said, we want a place that, you see what I'm saying? We're going light years away. These things are, we're getting somewhere.
And those staff are all gender neutral.
Yeah, oh yeah, like many work environments, sure. And there's just a lot more of them than we have right now, which will get people very excited. I hope this helps. I mean, we want this to be clear. I think that our community wants this to be clear. And if there's a follow-up and we need to have a more dynamic view of this, I'd be happy to help.
Mr. Henderson, do you have access to better drawings? Bigger, better, clearer? Instead of looking at that?
Blueprints, more
detailed blueprints.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I have a video that I've been trying to make and walk through for everyone. I've just got a little bit tied up on my day-to-day job, but I want to get that done because I think it's exciting. I mean, so we'll do that too. Maybe I'll have a timeline. I got to have it done for next time.
That
Not
video
Mr.
is
Wilson didn't
for
do
the
a great
board or
job.
for the public? Because
Do that,
I
but-
do have concerns about,
100% for the public. That's the goal. is
I
to
do
get
have
people
concerns
on.
about letting the public not see things. I do have concerns about putting very specific locational things out there to the public. That's not.
No, this is going to be more of a digital tour using fancy 3D things that make you, basically I'm going to take everybody through a walk through the school.
Got it.
And my goal was to have it done sooner, and if I have contributed to this lack of clarity, I apologize. But I will also dutifully finish that, and then, you know, we're starting to talk about it more because it's real. I mean, we got a wall. We're getting there.
Survive the wind.
And that's where I'd have to ask Mr.
Do you
Jeter.
have access to better drawings?
What do you mean by
I
that?
want bigger.
You just
clear-
want names on the
I
spots?
want clearer so I can see them. You.
Well, I mean, what you see here, is that adequate? With
I would
the
like them. I would like it bigger so I can see it in front of me. Yes.
I mean, we have access to this, right?
No, it's about this big because this is what all this is.
On,
Yes, you can zoom in.
I save it on a different computer.
I think we ought to be able to print a decent picture of them.
Yeah, you just have to have a printer. I mean, I don't know how big you want it. We can make it as big as we can print the piece of paper.
I would like it. I would like it bigger.
So, Mr. Henderson, why can't you have a female private bathrooms and male private bathrooms?
I mean, again,
You take care of all the issues that you talked about.
Location. Why? Like, look, if we did that, that would cut the number of bathrooms available to all of the students in half.
Yeah.
So then, instead of, say, 10 bathrooms for me to choose from, I, as a female, would only have 5 bathrooms to choose from, and I'm SOL if 5 girls are in there, and I have to go all the way across the building. I would literally say it's just for more options.
But you're,
Also-
if they don't, or if they're not comfortable with that, you're having to go clear across.
Well, the same thing. If a student is gender neutral and they are next to the auditorium, they also have to go all the way across to get to a private room. And here's the thing. I identify as female, and I get that. And I know that students out there identify as other things, but I am not them and they are not me. So just because, like, it's not normal to my brain doesn't mean that they don't deserve the same level of privacy. And again, every student, every day, even if I don't align with them, even if I don't understand them, they still deserve the right to poop in peace and, to be.
I would also say, in fairness, someone right now is thinking of something on TikTok that's going to cause me a problem tomorrow, because that's the world. And when that problem comes to me, we'll work on it. So I'm not pushing aside what you're suggesting on April 8th today. I mean, I don't know, but in the future, I mean, we can have conversations. That drawing is static. My school is dynamic. So when we get into that school, if there are adjustments to be made, we would adjust. I think that's fair. I mean, that's just the day-to-day operations of a comprehensive school with 1,200 human beings in it, so.
And my question would be for Mr. Jeter, as far as protecting those drawings out in public, to have all of them, as a school board, are we protected on not putting everything out there for the public to see in case of school shooters? And I mean, you see it on the news every day, guys. I guess that's my question, Mr. Jeter.
It would be discretionary what you want to release.
But we have the power.
You could release all of them if you wanted.
I really, truly don't feel comfortable with that.
What the Open Records Act is, it provides you a right in the board and the district's discretion to not release certain materials. And this would be one of them. Any plans and specifications that relate to security issues. Doesn't mean you can't, it's just discretionary. So I think there needs to be some discretion exercised in what is released publicly.
Thank you.
There is software as such that I can three-dimensionally scroll you into that area. I just asked the architects about it the other day. So if we specifically know exactly what we want, we can try to make that happen.
Were you going to ask?
Now, yeah, as a board member, you're entitled to that individually. Keeping in mind, if it's introduced at a board meeting like that is, it is now public record.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, any more questions for Mr. Henderson? You did a terrific job.
You did. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for
Henderson.
working so hard on the fly.
Thanks for taking care of our kiddos.
All right, then we will move to 6.6, migrant contracted services. Mr. Park, you asked for that to be pulled out.
Yes.